it's Carolyn here to share another channeled message from the Light Keepers, a group of angelic beings I channel for your awakening and ascension journey support. So today is the December energy update, and it's a long one. So, like I always say for these, kind of get your coffee, get your drink of choice, or just kind of relax and listen in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to also do a summary at the end of this to a degree. I also, in this, just so you know, I channel in different ways, and I think many of you who have followed me are starting to realize that. What will happen is the Light Keepers or any group I channel will actually come through me and talk in their voice, okay? And then I just repeat that back, essentially, which is what you mostly hear. But then what will also happen is I will start channeling on my own, and it's information coming through me, but it's in my voice. It's in my conversation. So it's all channeled information throughout this, and you're going to see a big chunk where I'm just talking and getting more information, okay? So I just wanted you to understand that. So I'm Carolyn. I'm a channel, I'm a distance energy healer, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor, and I offer these channels for your awakening and ascension journey support. One thing I want to mention before we move into the channel today, and I'll hit on this at the end, is I have a new collaboration coming up that I'm so excited about, and I want you to be able to take advantage of it. Down below in the description box, you're going to see a little bit more detail, and we're just now firming things up, but I want you to know about it. My friend Vanessa and I are coming up with a collaboration of services that we're offering to you. So let me explain this to you, and then you'll see more on my website as we get that completed. But if you're interested, just get onto my website, contact me, and tell me you're interested in the collaboration between myself and my friend, and I'll let you know more about it. We are now offering my distance energy healing and channeling session, where, as you may know, many of you have received a document already, 8 pages or more of channeled information, and so much of it has to do with past lives, because when we come into our incarnations, we actually are bringing past lives in to learn from and to heal from, all right? And healing is a very broad word, all right? So it's helping you work through what you brought through to clear in this lifetime and to continue to move on and let all of that go so that you can continue on your ascension journey. So in my sessions, what actually happens is there will be ways for you to understand how you can start working on clearing those past lives. However, what we've realized is Vanessa, she actually has a service where she works people through their past lives. She works through the healing part where you can, in collaboration with her, actually take the life that we have uncovered in my session, and then you work with her on that through a series of sessions. And we'll have more information for you as that rolls out. But I want to introduce this to you as this is coming up for us. It's powerful, where not only do you get the information, the channeled information from me and the distance energy healing, and the way to actually start working it on your own, but you also have the opportunity to work with Vanessa in her services to take that life and dig down deep into it and really work it, all right? So she's a healer. She has different ways of working than I do, and so we thought this was such a great collaborative effort to offer you a continuation of the service that I actually offer, but then to really be able to dig down deep into that past life so that you can actually continue to move forward in your ascension journey, clearing out things that no longer serve you from those past lives. And that's the point. Remember, in this ascension journey, we are gathering more light, we're gathering more space into us to allow us to be able to be lighter, to be able to hold more light, to share with others. And in doing that, we have to deal with the things from the past. But most of us don't have a clue what our past lives are. So I dig deep into that and offer that information to you, and then she helps you clear it and work through those so that you can continue along your ascension journey. So I'm introducing it to you today, and we're still working out the details of that, but I want you to be aware. If you're interested, contact me. Tell me you're interested in my distance energy healing and channeling. We'll get that done. And then what you can do is you can connect with Vanessa, and I'll give you all the detail if you want to continue forward. That doesn't preclude you from doing one or the other services at all. It's just that we're now combining our services and offering that to you when you might not even know about Vanessa, or you might not know about me and my services. All right. So with that today, I'm going to get going on the channel, and then we're going to do a bit of a download on it, even though I do a download on it in the channel. All right, here we go, everybody. Oh, time will tell what it will be for you and all and those to see. For as you enter into the end of the year in your way, you will find that you will not be blind anymore to all that was at once sublime. But the shift and the change has come to many more throughout this year, we say too. For awakening has begun in a grand fashion across the earth today, opening up the door so wide. Enter in and greet the others in time. For you are the ambassadors. Yes, you are understanding the swell that you see by far coming your way, waiting to come through the gates of consciousness too. For as you understand in your time, we have told you there are multi-layered reasons for what has occurred in your own life and journey, but also in the collective. For this year has been swept away for others to understand that in their day, their life is not what they think, and it is changing and shifting ever more, we say too. And those who have opened up their eyes so wide, you see the starlight in them shine, questioning and wondering, and sometimes frightened too of the changes they see within themselves. And yet we find it is a consciousness-raising time. For many will choose to do what they could never have imagined, we say, change their life wholeheartedly in their day, opening it up to their own journey. And here you are, greeting them at the pathway too. For you have come before to allow the greeting at the gateway. For your journey now will be to let them enter in and teach them, we say too. In your own way, you will find loved ones and friends and family and strangers will come your way in one way or another. And not only will you continue to go through your own awakening journey, but many more will come your way. For many of you have felt lonely on this journey, but those of you who have been on this pathway for some time now will see how this will metamorphosize in your way, where you are the teacher and the learned one too, sharing your knowledge as those come to you. For this final month of this year will open up an even greater gateway as the time comes. For yes, it starts off with the full moon, we say too. And then I say, oh, I have so many chills. And I get super chills throughout my body when they want to emphasize something. And so that's what happens to me there. And then I say, so what does that actually mean though? Why did you bring up the full moon to start with? And they say, for the month enters off with a bang of energy in the interstellar system. More energy than you know in this full moon is your due. For it will offer sensations that you may feel in your way, and you will know that a gateway is open to allow you to travel through to the solstice, we say too. For wasn't it just yesterday that we spoke of the summer solstice in your way? But now comes the granting in this month, where light in your northern hemisphere will be growing in days, and brighter times are coming your way. And in the southern hemisphere, it will become shorter of days, but what you need to understand is it is all brighter skies for you too, even though it may not look like it in the coming days of this month in your way. For it is entering into a new time, we find, of the new year of 2021, you'll find. A bright light will shine on all of you, bringing in an energy as you travel through this month. Gaining light you will. For we ask you to continue the self-care, opening yourself up to greater light, for it will help you enter into the new year in your day. For upside down it still feels, but more clarity is being understood in your way, as grappling with the times to come, the breaking down of what we have talked about of constructs to become. For more will enter in your way, changes of a greater scope, and across the worldwide stage we say too. Earth events, as we have mentioned, will continue too. But this is a brighter time, we find. This last month that will take you into the slippery slide. And I say, okay, what do you mean by the slippery slide? You were showing the roller coaster in the past months, where we were dropping straight down last month and there was no bottom. It was just like, hold on, because we were just dropping straight down, but we weren't hitting bottom. And then they say, yes, this was the shock and awe of this month, we say, of the past. It is true. For many were holding their breath for many reasons. Does not matter the side you have drawn in time of, or your beliefs. There was a collective holding of the breath, not knowing where anyone would end up, and now it is a settling into a new time. And yet we say you will see how things will break down further, and there will be new learning for the collective in time. And then I say, okay, and because I'm starting to get visions, okay, so what you're showing me now, you said the slippery slide. I'm seeing this. It's like we've come down out of this chute. It was straight down, but now it's almost turned into like a water slide, and it's a slippery slide. And they say, slippery slope. You could go over, yes, in your day by taking too much on, we say too. And I said, oh, okay. And I was kind of getting a sense of things. And then they say, let go of the cautionary times, we say. But understand, do not let these days slip away. In that we mean slipping away from the work that you will do and continue to. For remember, this is the closing out to enter into the new gateway of this energy that will be of the new year, we say too. The slippery slope. Don't let it take you over the side in your day. Stand strong and tall, for you are breathing more easily in many ways, we say too. But there are two sides to the coin. Deciding what you will be in time. Heads or tails will come up, we say too. What will you be realizing when this time comes? So I want to stop here and say that when they're talking about the slippery slope, the water slide, so here's what I saw, and this is important. If you've ever done a water slide where you come down, especially as a little kid, like you felt like you almost were going to flip over, you'd hit the edge and almost flip over, and then you'd come back over and flip, that's what they're showing. Almost like you're going over. And slippery slide all the way down, which can, as you know, as a human, make you feel frightened and scared and wondering, but you're still on the slide and you're not going to go over. Okay, so that's their metaphor they're using. All right, we're going to continue on here. For dark is light, and light is dark, and which way you go will be stark. For as you remember, this was the time of wrapping it up in your day, and we were going into the final understanding of this year of 2020. What will you present yourself with, and how will you look back on what you learned and taking forward to the brighter days? But understand, there are still steps away, for what you have coming will be a surprise and shock to all of you. And yet you must understand the brighter days are here, oh yes, in time. For you've cleared out so much and been through so much, and many more have awakened. Okay, so I'm going to stop you here because as I'm reading this, I'm getting something. So they're showing the yin and yang. So they talk a lot about brighter days, and then they talk about the difficulties to come, and you're like, how can that be both? But it is, okay? It is. So they talk about that a lot throughout here, and it can get confusing, but just know it's all interwoven. Okay, they just said into what is and what is good and well for all. Okay, so I'll back up to this last paragraph and read it again. But understand there are still steps away, for what you have coming will be a surprise and shock to all of you. And yet, you must understand the brighter days are here, oh yes, in time. For you've cleared out so much and been through so much, and many more have awakened. And this will continue. Changes in lives and understanding of consciousness in time. More will come your way for those who need your help. So open up the door for them too. Greet them and be kind. But this is what it is about too. What kindness have you learned during these months? Greet everyone always, even if they do not believe in the same things you do. For you are all one. Understand that this is one of the most important concepts you will find in the collective, for it is connecting with everyone through their eyes in their day. Look deeply when you look at each other, for it is this day that all of you have brought into a greater understanding and knowing through these times. Your DNA is shifting and changing too, for those you encounter in your way, bringing human evolution with you. For 2020, we find, was brought from the stars, galactic, offering shifts and changes to you. Part of the growth of all of you. So understand that what seems like upside down was actually meant for greater growth in your way. Human evolution has been adjusted. As you entered in the way, many of you that encountered the virus, and those who did not yet, will see that it was actually here for a purpose in time that you may not understand right now. But you will in the coming days and years, we find. You will look back and wonder how you ever lived before in time. And then I got so many chills from my crown all the way to my toes. And they say, for 2020 is a gateway year, as many call it, the year of clarity in your own life. But in the greater collective, you will see wave upon wave opening up the door. For yes, you brought the tide in this time. And now, those joining you, we say, subtle at first, but then you will see the wave. And then I say, and this is where I start talking and channeling a lot, because as they talk, I start getting visuals and more information. So I say, okay, so you're showing a slippery slide, but it's also the tsunami you're showing. Okay, you're showing the slippery slide. Don't fall over the side. Okay, that's us. It's us, the first wavers, coming through the slippery slide first, feeling like you might go over, and like, how are you going to hang on for the rest of this year? And yet many are looking forward to the new year. But then this tsunami comes from behind you of those who are awakening, coming down this slide. Oh, that's what they're showing, is we're coming down first. And then, you know how it always is when you hope that nobody's coming right down the slide behind you to run into you? That's what I'm getting. Okay, now you're showing coming down the slide, into the water. Ooh, and now you've got to get out of the way of those who are awakening so that we can greet the others, but not be hit by the wave of the tsunami of those who are awakening. Because it's going to be stark, and they're going to struggle, and there's going to be a lot of need for help and understanding. And you're showing with our arms open wide, and our hands out for them to catch as they come down the water slide. And then I said, oh my gosh, I have so many chills. So this is really what we're going into for 2021. Okay, there's now showing me a lot of babies. You're showing me a lot of babies. Oh, and that's a metaphor for those who are new to the awakening. And it's almost like you just said rattling their cages. Okay, so it feels like there's many awakening, and yet there's still many who aren't, obviously. But this shaking awake, it's like a quake I'm seeing. And it's just this quake of humanity waking up and needing all this support. And you're showing so many babies. And that's the initiation and the beginning of the awakening journey. So I feel like this is what we're coming into in December, or preparing ourselves for. And then this is the ball of light that I keep seeing for 2021. And I have a feeling, oh my gosh, I have so many chills. I think this is the massive awakened people that I'm seeing. I keep seeing this. And we haven't done a 2021 channel yet, but I think that ball of light that I keep mentioning is actually this bright light of people coming into awakening. And the angelics too, now you're saying. There's something about star beings showing up in some way. I don't know if it's a massive show of them or if it's just individually more people will be made aware of them. So there's a couple things going on with this bright light that we're seeing. And it's the mass awakening, and that's what we're going into 2021 with, it feels like. And Earth is continuing its change and evolution, so we're going to continue to see Earth events that we've been seeing. But because more people are awakening and light is coming into them, and they're going to go through this journey that seems like it will be quick for a lot of people, more than it has been in the past. There's something that will also assist Earth as we go through this. And then I say, oh, you're showing me quaking of light of people coming into this, and that this assists Earth, but Earth also has to adjust to this new light. And then they start in again. And they say, granting you the shift and change we do in your day, for the collective is growing in their own way, shaken awake by this last year, we say too. So hold your hands out far and wide. Know that you're catching those coming in time from the slide, we say. For they will not understand what is happening to them. They will awaken fast as you help them move through this journey. You will see how they will come to you, loved ones, friends, strangers in time. You will know what you'll need to say. Just guide them with a helping hand in great love and kindness, for they are joining you now, the tsunami of those who are coming in time. So I say, oh my gosh, so this is prep month. You're showing me prep month. I mean, this is the slippery slide. They're coming down the slide. Yes, we say, entering the gateway for 2021. For the solstice will offer the energy to enter into new portals and gateways of growth for the greater of humankind. So that's our channel. And I commented a lot on it already, but what I'm really getting as an overarching theme here that I just want you to take away. Remember how they said to us a few months ago, wrap things up for yourself, right? What are you working on? What are you dealing with? Doesn't mean new things aren't coming your way, but what are you working on to continue to grow in yourself, to build a more stable self, to build a more healthy self? What are you working on? Wrap it up, because guess what? We are wrapping it up, preparing ourselves to help others, all right? We're the first wavers, all right? The ones who have been doing this for a while, and there are those of us also who've had a fast awakening and are right there too, okay? So it's all individual and unique, but needless to say, those of us who've been doing this for a while have moved through this journey. We're preparing ourselves to help others. Our light shines so that the others coming into the awakening journey will be able to not only find us, okay, but be able to utilize our light. And we're here ready. What have we learned of kindness and sharing and love? And what have we learned about ourselves? What kind of stability have we built on ourselves to be able to prepare the way? Okay, so they're showing, not to get too religious on you because that's kind of not my thing, but as we know, the whole Christ consciousness concept is what this is all about. This is about us waking up to conscious awareness of who we are. Many of us have journeyed long years of being able to know that we're changing and shifting, but it's not conscious, okay? So it's conscious awareness, what the awakening is, as you're going through this journey that opens you up. What they're showing me, this is so interesting, is that those of us who have come into our journey, we have done our work and continue to do our work, done our work, we're feeling stable in ourselves, feeling good and grounded, we're feeling full of light, we're doing our work. They're showing okay, so remember the hands outstretched? They're actually showing a visual of Christ, okay, the Christ consciousness, just this light, it's light, okay, it looks kind of the figure of a person in a robe. This is what they're showing me now, a white robe, but this is us, okay, we are here with that Christ consciousness light. Remember, Christ consciousness is that journey to our inner self, our higher self, and being guided from that. And we could talk all day long about that and what was originally intended. So what they're showing is that as we continue to grow in our light and ascend, we become that Christ consciousness, not just for ourselves, but for others. Well, that doesn't mean we're not continuing to learn and we still don't have human experience and all of that. It's about the human journey, but at the same time, being able to be consciously aware and consciously understanding what that journey is all about, and then bringing it back into 3D to not only work in our life, in our journey, and to be led by our higher selves, but to share with others. And as we gain in light, we share with others. So they're showing us standing there like this, as the others come, either as the tsunami that they give the metaphor for, or down the slippery slide, all right? And we are there to catch them and hold on to them. So remember, every person you meet, every person you see is a potential awakening person, right? And they're part of the collective. So what we need to do is use all of our grace and all of our kindness and all of our wisdom to share with them. And it may be just being silent. It's not that you want to just regurgitate everything to the person that walks up to you, but you're going to find your way in this mass awakening of humankind. And what we were going to see to come, okay, they just said, is the journey to the even greater side of light for the rest of humankind will come in your way and will be granted peace through the work that you have done and the offering you have to them in this day of the Great Awakening, the tsunami to come in your way, which is why you have, which is why you are where you are in your journey, holding the light fast for them to come enter into your arms, to raise them up into the light of all time, the growth of humankind, the beginning of the oneness forevermore. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to leave you here with that. So I hope you took something away from this. This is a little complex, but again, I think you see where our role is now, and as we come into these new times, how you can assist even further. And remember, it's about the work we do with ourselves that then helps others as we move forward in this journey. So I thank you so much for joining me today. And again, I'm going to remind you of my services. I would love to work with you. It's a great time to get a channeled message for yourself moving forward into 2021. So I offer 3 different kinds of channeled sessions on my website, purplerainhealing.com. I do the distance energy healing and channeling, where you get a huge document of information, including past lives. And then what you can choose to do is work with Vanessa if you want to pick through one of those lives and really work it out deeply. Because oftentimes with those past lives, we can actually end up having physical ramifications from it that we don't even understand, in addition to emotional. So you may be dealing with a lot of things that are happening now because of past lives. and she can help you get more clarity around that and start healing that in a way where you're working with somebody else to do that. So that's a new collaboration. You're going to get more information on that soon. Check out the description box below to connect with me if you would like to talk more about that. Needless to say, I also offer spiritual awakening mentoring, which I absolutely love. It is so powerful, where I work with you regularly and we work through your awakening journey. What comes up over the course of the weeks, what comes up for you as things you want to become and evolve into. So I help you by channeling information, and we have a one-on-one conversation on a regular basis to help you through your journey. They are so powerful, and I do record those, so you get to take those with you. So anyway, reach out to me at purplerainhealing.com. You'll see the information in the description box below. And again, I thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has helped you as we enter into the end of, oh my gosh, a year that none of us could ever have imagined. I wish you well, and thank you again for joining me.